Hello YouTube watchers, Ronald here. Just wanted to do a quick review of my fishing kayak. After watching countless YouTube videos, especially those from Summertime Ken and reading countless reviews, in my price range I settled on this kayak. I had wanted a kayak with multiple dry storage hatches, but at the end of the day realized that I would have to be a gymnast to access most of them, to get anything out of them, especially on the water. And it was a toss-up between the Motion Stealth 11 Sit on Top or this Vapor 10 Sit In by Old Town. And this model doesn't come with any dry storage compartments, but the ideas and mods are endless to what you can do to compromise for it. Also, at the end of the day, because I don't kayak camp, I realized there wasn't a big need for a lot of dry storage for the gear I carry. But let me get started in the front. Of course, it's the Old Town Vapor 10 Angler. It's got a pretty nice blade in front that cuts the water good. Comes to a nice point. Front and the back has some very sturdy fixed handles. And I added this bow rope. Kayak comes with this front bungee. I'm assuming kayak campers were in mind when they did this. I guess you would call this a cockpit dashboard. It's got a couple of trays you can put things in, lures that you're not using, what have you. Of course, this is a beverage holder, but I like it. Works perfect for my thumb Bluetooth speaker, so I can listen to some tunes on the water. Of course, I added pad eyes here and there. The cockpit is very, very roomy. The front and the back comes with a chunk of styrofoam, I'm assuming to keep the kayak from not sinking, just in case you would happen to flip it. There's a lot of room in there. And what I did, I added this. This is just a flat tray, milk crate tray, but the flat type. And I just have this Hefty brand storage tote that I put my snacks and my food in, and this of course is a Got brand ice chest for my soft drinks, and I just sprayed it red to match my kayak just because. And of course I have everything leashed down. And what I like about this idea, and it just happened by luck, whenever I slide it, the top of the ice chest catches the bottom of that beverage holder, and it really gives it a snug fit. And once it's in place, it's not going anywhere, as it's real snug. And getting back to the kayak, it's got these foot pegs, very easily adjustable foot pegs on each side. It also comes with the pad for your knees. This little rope right here, you pull it to adjust the back of the seat. The seat is pretty comfortable. I may get a stadium cushion to maybe put on my lower back section here, but all in all, it's a pretty comfortable seat. And the back of the kayak has a good bit of storage. I bought this little mini crate at Home Depot for $1.50. And of course I have a little dry storage box here with a couple of first aid items, a pair of small binoculars, got some wet wipes and a sponge. And what I like about this mini crate, the kayak comes with these two rod holders, and they stick in the cockpit, and this mini crate slides right between both of them, so it gives it a pretty snug fit. And then you still have a little room on each side to stick things. And of course, like I said, I have everything leashed down, and that's my leashing point right here, where I have most of my stuff leashed. Kayak comes with this indention cut in the hull to rest your paddle on. I had added this bungee here to rest my paddle on the side when I wasn't using it, but after fishing a few times, I realized it was a lot more convenient just to lay it across. And I added this bungee to hold it in place. And also, the kayak also comes with this anchor trolley, including the little anchor. I watched in other videos, and it was recommended to make the anchor trolley system go the whole length of the kayak, because from the factory it kind of stopped here halfway. So I redid it with some new rope. But to be honest, I've never even used the anchor system yet, because I picked up at Academy for $3. This is called a brush anchor. And what I do, because I mostly freshwater fish, when I get on to some fish, I'll just clamp this to a tree branch or a stump coming out the water, or something like that. And I have a couple of knots where I can adjust the length, and I use my carabiner to hook it to. I've added a cleat to each side, depending on which side I want to anchor to. And I also added this bungee to give it kind of like a shock absorber feature, and it works really good. Also, I fish with these little ultralight rod and reel systems, and the one that I'm not using, I usually keep inside the cockpit, because there's a lot of room in the cockpit and I have no problem getting it in and out. But then I came up with this idea that the one that I wasn't going to be using, I would kind of put it here. Excuse the movement, it's hard doing this with one hand. I kind of thought I could put it here, and I added this bungee to hold it in place, and there's no way the rod could fall in the water. But I didn't realize that when I would paddle, I would keep hitting the reel with the paddle. So that kind of ended up not being a good idea. Maybe if I put this bungee and put the rod here, the reel here, with the rod sticking forward, it may have worked a little better. But again, it's no problem laying it in the cockpit. There's plenty enough room. Also, I added a paddle leash for my paddle. And I keep my net on this side, because when I'm throwing my rod, sometimes my lure will catch the rod that would be sticking out this one. So I just keep my net to keep a little profile on this side. And this is usually where I keep my rod that I use for bass. And of course I have it leashed, and you always need a hook remover just in case. Kayak comes with a drain plug on the side. I've seen many videos where they were wondering why it was on the side. I'm sure the manufacturer had a reason to put it there, but of course, like everybody else, I added a second one on the back. Don't really know why, because I've never flipped yet, and I have no intentions of flipping. Actually, I've put the kayak in a swimming pool when I first got it to see what my tipping point would be, and I had to actually make this kayak flip. It's so stable on the water. Like I said, I had to actually make it flip for it to flip. It was very, very stable. And this particular model it comes with the open hatch. Some of them has a rubber top to it, but this one came open, and which is a good thing, because I picked up this Coleman 16-quart ice chest. And it had a telescopic handle and wheels, which I took off and just replaced the screws. And after I did that, I realized that the ice chest fits pretty perfect in this hatch. So what I did, I added this bungee. Well, actually, I have the ice chest this way when I'm fishing. And I added the bungee. And I just hook it like that. And whenever I catch a fish, I just pretty much just reach back with one hand, and it's very easy once you get the routine to unhook this. And with a chunk of ice, I do a lot of freshwater fishing, pan fishing, crappie, what have you. And with a chunk of ice, I can put quite a few pan fishing here, 4 or 5 bass, whatever. And even if I'm saltwater fishing, in which I just mainly fish for speckled trout, with a chunk of ice, I can fit enough speckled trout that I'm satisfied with in here. So it works out good either way. And I picked up this driveway stake from one of the big box stores, It's a reflective driveway stake, and I added these football flags from Academy, because where I fish at, and especially in the bayous, the boats come around the curves quick, and I want them to see me quick. So probably went a little overboard with this, but again, I want them to see me quick. I'd rather be safe than sorry. And of course, I added this stern rope. And I don't do GoPros, so I don't have any GoPro attachments anywheres. And as far as stability, like I said, it's very, very stable. I picked up this Carlisle Magic Plus fiberglass paddle just because it matched my kayak. I thought that was a cool feature. And also, life jacket. I picked up this. It's a spider wire by Stearns, and it has a bunch of pockets. And I picked up this little dry storage box that perfectly holds my fishing license and my cell phone. So if something should happen and I should fall out of the kayak for any reason, I'll always have my phone in hand. Of course, I have my safety whistle and some lawn clippers. And also the seat has a second beverage holder. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. And that's where I keep my coffee thermos, because I gotta have my coffee when I'm on the water. Of course, I have it leashed down like everything else. And again, when I first bought the kayak, I had bought 3 or 4 different dry storage boxes like this, because I wanted to have it. But after I fished a few times in it, you realize that this storage box here and the one for my phone is really the only ones I need. I really don't have any need for anything else to be in dry storage. So another thing is tackle boxes. With all respect to the other videos that I've watched, a lot of kayak fishermen favor the crates with the all the plastic tackle boxes like this. And of course, I wanted to be cool like everybody else, so I wanted a crate too. And I fought a lot of inner demons because I was determined I wanted a crate like everybody else. But I just kept tossing up the fact that at the end of the day, I really didn't need all of that tackle. So what I did, of course, it's leashed. And, I picked up this box, and I have a couple of them. If I'm going freshwater fishing, I'll put the lures that I think I'm going to use. And if saltwater, same thing. And this fits really good here. And between this one tackle box and the multiple pockets on this life jacket, I really don't see the need to carry all the crates with the several boxes like this. I mean, I've been fishing for 35 years, so in the few hours that I'm going to spend on the water, I pretty much know exactly what I'm going to want to throw out. And so I really don't see the need for 20 different colors of one lure. And so, but again, all due respect to the other fishermen who carry all that. Everybody likes different things. But like I said, this fits perfectly here. It's out the way. I like to keep things simple. And of course, everything in this kayak is leashed down. So if I should flip, the only thing that would come out of this kayak would be myself and this speaker, which I didn't leash this down because I figured once this gets wet, it's no good anyway. But other than that, everything else would be leashed down, and that's a big thing that I would want not to lose anything. I think that pretty much covers my kayak review. I hope y'all enjoyed it like I've enjoyed every one of y'all's that I've watched. I've seen a lot of great ideas and ideas that I thought I wanted to use, but once I started using my personal own kayak, you realize that some ideas, although they're good, they just don't work for you in the environment that, everybody fishes in different environments. But anyway, again, if anybody's in doubt about this particular model by Old Town, it's a great kayak. I'm very satisfied with it. I'd buy another one tomorrow. I'm very satisfied with it. And I think that covers everything. Thanks for watching my video.